Okay, looks like we're live. There's Neil. Hey, Neil. Is my audio working? You never know with this damn OSB. Get everything switched up here. Good here. All right. Well, maybe it didn't forget anything this week. And there's Andrew. How you doing, Andrew? Thanks for coming in, buddy. There's Wicked. How you doing, Jim? Thanks for coming on the show, buddy. There's Cameron. I tell you what, we're going to have quite a few people today, looks like. Get out my little cheat sheet here in case I need it. There's Josh. Oh, it's fine, Josh. I ain't in no hurry, buddy. In fact, I mixed me up a couple of my new flavors I got in the other day. Let me find them here. Of course, I'm still loving life at the moment with my RY4 and a cup of good coffee. I'm good. I mean, I'm good. I could happily go to my grave with just some good RY4 and some good coffee. You know, doesn't get any better. And it looks like, and there's Adrian. How you doing, Adrian? Anyhow, back to the, oh, this ain't it. This is one of them. This is some of that new stuff I got in the other day. It was supposed to be a one-shot. Mango Mafia. Okay, well, I kind of like mango because the mango sticky rice is one of my favorite. Favorite juices. So, you know, and I always usually added a little extra mango in with it. Well, anyhow, so Mango Mafia. Well, hell, it should be pretty good mango, you'd think. Well, it's a fair mango. It's a little bit. And hell, you mix this shit at 12%. Of course, I guess I could mix it more, but usually on the one shots, whatever they tell you to mix it to is pretty much on par. And 12% should do it, and it's just a little light, I would say. Call it, instead of calling it Mango Mafia, they should have called it Mango Light, because it's mango, and I guess it's a good mango. I'm really not one to speculate because I've never eaten a real mango, but it's just a little light. Now I drug out my old Z1s and I drug out my old Omits, and I've been playing around with the coils in them and whatnot, and that's what we ended up putting this stuff in. And let's have a vape on it. Yeah, it's mango. Nothing to really write home about. It's just, I mean, it's mango. And, a lot of people don't like a real strong mango. I guess I'm not one of those people. I kind of like mine a little stronger. But, you know, mango light. What can I say? I mean, it's vapable. It's okay. I mean, I'll vape it. I'll use it. It won't go to waste. Neil says he's got the dead rabbit. He's really liking it. Dead rabbit R. I never had any dead rabbits besides the ones in my yard and the ones that like to get up under the hood of my vehicles. But where's the other one? Oh yeah, this is the other one. Now this, I wished I had a black drip tip for this one because, man, that black Omet on this black Z1, it really, I think, looks neat with the red O-rings, and you got the red accent around the button here. I couldn't find I've got some little shorty black drip tips, and they look good, but I don't like the way they vape. So I couldn't find a long or medium size black one. So we're going with this. And we got the Pog flavor in this one. It's the passion fruit orange guava mix. And it's all right if that's your flavor profile. It kind of tastes just like what it's supposed to taste like. And in fact, I like it a little bit better than I like the Mango Mafia. But both of them are vapable. So yeah, we're good, Josh. We're still trying out flavors. And I'm assuming, since I've never eaten passion fruit and I've never eaten guava, I'm assuming it's tasting like it's supposed to taste. It's okay. Nothing to write home about, but it's okay. It's not. It's not. It's good fruity flavor, But it just the RY4 and the coffee. That's the shit. I'm hooked. I'm hooked bad. Yeah. Now I was watching Kazor's show this morning, and I think I might have picked up a little bit of the slang, we'll call it. I finally, it's hard for me. Y'all don't realize how hard it is for me to watch those kind of shows. And I mean, I catch like maybe 80%, 75% of what he says. I understand, but maybe my UK guys can straighten me out a little, maybe, because I finally kind of understood when he says liquor that it means great, good. It's kind of a slang term for good or great, I think. Now the problem I still have is I don't know if he's saying liquor like a liqueur, alcoholic drink, or if he's saying liquor like, lick this lollipop or lick this ice cream cone. I don't understand. I don't know which lick he's going with, you might say. But I did think I made the connection that it means good or great. I guess. I'm not totally sure. I was hoping Mick would come in today. He's the guy, I believe he's from Australia. He might not even gotten up yet, or he might have had to go to work early or something. Anyhow, he's been having a little trouble. Lekker, okay. For nice or tasty. Okay. So exactly, well, what was that derived from, Adrian? I mean, what actual term was that, like, shortened or modified from? I'm just curious. But it's lekker. And now, is that the, because I swear, when I hear him say it, it's liquor. But see, the way I would pronounce that is lekker. Oh, it's a real language, really? Is it English? Or is it some South African language? I thought it was slang. I really did. Dutch German. I guess they're the ones that first settled that area. Interesting. I thought it was slang for something. I mean, I thought it was a slang term. That's what I have the most trouble with, is the local slang terms. That's what I always have trouble with. But if I watch enough, eventually I'll catch enough context to where I can kind of figure out what the meaning of it is. Huh, that's weird. That's interesting. See, I had no idea. Now that Dead Rabbit V3, that's a dripper, right? Or am I wrong? I thought all the Dead Rabbits were drippers. I think I've seen videos pop up for it, but I couldn't say for sure if I watched one. Oh, it's an RTA. Maybe I did watch one for it. Maybe I did. I remember the name. I remember the name, but I don't remember. I mean, it didn't it didn't appeal to me enough to go order one. Of course, that's probably it's probably one of them big old dual coil direct lung deals. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, if that's your style of vaping, they've got some really good tanks out nowadays for that. If that's your style. Squeak S. I believe I don't know. I got just about every damn Squeak clone they ever made, and I think I got a Squeak S. I know I got the last one was the Arise. I think I got one of those. Of course, they're all clones, but yeah, they do restricted direct lung best, because you can get a fair size coil in most of them, and a single coil in most of those fair size one. And I think the air hose will get you to restricted pretty good. I think I like mine, but it's been on the shelf for God knows how long. See, Cameron, your wife and mine we're totally different. Mine does fairly tight MTL, and that's all she will do. That's all she likes, and she's happy, so I'm happy. but she's definitely MTL, even tighter than most, than even I like MTL. And I can go, a loose MTL or a restricted direct long, and I'm just happy as I can be either way. See, Adrian, I never found a donut flavor that appealed to me. Of course, I didn't try too many, but I would love to find one that was decent flavoring. But I've never found one that appealed to me. Yeah, Neil, it's good to change up, I think. I'll do that myself. I'll change up. Here a while back, I was doing, my setups were almost all MTLs, and now they're almost all restricted direct longs. It's good to switch up and switch around. Well, that sounds like a good recipe, Adrian. But I think it was the TFA donut that I got that time that I think it was TFA. I'd have to look, dig it out. That I got that time that just didn't do it for me. Didn't do it. Oh, speaking of flavorings, uh, creme de vape. I've heard of that. It's a company over there they get flavorings from. Speaking of flavors, recipes, did y'all catch DIY or Die's video about uh, the AI making him a recipe? It was fairly interesting, and it piqued my interest. Uh, in the AI thing enough to where I was gonna just try it out on my phone, and then I read a few of the reviews, and they said the app on the phone didn't work near as good as the app on the PC, and I hadn't loaded it onto my computer yet to give it a try. But if you didn't catch his video, it was kind of neat because he played around. And he got the little thing to spit out a fairly decent basic recipe. I mean, it was a really good, in my opinion, it was a good starter recipe that, you can mix it up and then tweak it to your personal taste, because that's the way I do almost any recipe. I very seldom mix one and leave it alone, like whoever developed it mixed it. I'll mix it and taste it and say, well, I think I'd like a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that, a little less of this, maybe leave this out altogether, and I'll tweak it to my personal flavor preference. But this thing came up with a pretty neat little, recipe once he kept narrowing it down. Yeah, Adrian saw it. Now, my question is, and I didn't care about, I was wanting to ask the little thing some questions, the AI was what I was wanting to do, because what I was wanting to figure out And I might as well ask it, you know. What I was wanting to figure out, because we all know uh, that, especially us, and even people that aren't in the U.S. even know this, that our FDA and our CDC and just about any other government body is so damn corrupt and so politicized and so um, in it for the money that you can't trust the damn thing they say. I mean, we know this, especially as vapors, we really know it. But so supposedly the way I understand it works. Now I could be dead wrong on this because I hadn't done a whole lot of research, but the way I understand it, the AI basically gets its information from, or most of it, from the internet. Hold on a second. I think I might have company. Dad, we got a fire for a little while. They take it out too. The thing I worry about is the brush fire. Even in dark in here, you must be taking it. No, I'm doing a live. I'm doing a live on YouTube. Go ahead and read your bathroom real quick. Sure. Yeah, it's right in there. You know where it's at. Potty. Oh, pretty simple way to get a good recipe. But anyhow, my deal was if it's getting most of its information from the internet, and we know how much false information and propaganda is out there. How does it know the difference between the two, or discern the difference between the two? That's what piqued my interest in the deal. And I hadn't had time lately to get it loaded up and play with it because it's the beginning of our market season, and I had to actually go out in the garage and do a little work. All right, have a seat. Hell, you can be on the broadcast. This is Stan, my neighbor. One of the few neighbors I got out here in the middle of the desert.
Except for the snakes and the coyotes.
The snakes and the coyotes, that's right. Yeah, Stan, we're on live. We got, of course, I'm only a one screen deal, but anyhow, this is the chat. And we got people from all over. Adrian just said hi, Stan. He's from the UK.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. I've got several people from the UK, and then people from all over the America, all over the US. And usually have one or two guys pop in from Australia, but they hadn't came on today. They hadn't come on. So what brings you by?
I just come back from town. I have to get blood drawn for up and coming regular doctor appointment in a couple of weeks. And I go this Friday back to the neurologist in Bullhead to get the results of all the magnetic imaging and see what he tells me.
Yeah, this is Stan. He's the one that had the car wreck the other day when we were on the show live, and I showed you the picture of his car. Yeah, there's Cargith. He was hiding in the back. I didn't know he was even in here. But I don't never look at the. I just look at the chat, the live chat. I don't ever look at any of the other stats. He says hi. He's from Mingo County, West Virginia.
Oh.
But yeah, I just get on here and we just shoot the shit. Mostly talk about vaping. And
how did you get out your swap meet?
hmm?
Did you get to your swap meet?
Oh yeah.
Which one did you go to?
Oh, the one down in the dog park. That's on Andy Devine.
I was in town. You went Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I drove by your regular one. They
Yeah.
didn't even have anything happening.
What time did you go by there?
It was before 2:00.
Oh, they done gone. Hell, they were packed up and gone by the time I got packed up and drove back by there. There wasn't a soul left in that lot. They were all gone.
Yeah, it was about maybe 1:30, 1:45, maybe about that.
Oh
time.
yeah, they done long gone.
The whole thing was cleared out.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't have anything today.
No, we're on down. You're just going down Andy Devine.
Yeah, I went up the hill, past the post
Of course,
office.
we was probably all gone by the time you got there.
Yeah, it was about 2:00.
Oh yeah, we was all gone by then.
Wow.
Well, we were supposed to close at the one at the park. We were supposed to close at 12, but we had so many people that they said, "Well, let's stay open until 1." So we stayed open until 1.
Take your cinnamon rolls with you?
Oh yeah,
How'd that go?
they done good. I sold about 20 or maybe more.
Oh, brought a few back,
Mm-hmm.
but you got $5 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I had some. What I did when I went to baking them, some of them just didn't get as big as the rest. So I sold them for 3.
Oh,
But
okay.
the big ones that you had to force down into the container, those were 5, and sold about the same of both.
Did something different with the others? I know you had that trouble with the refrigeration. It didn't pan out. You didn't go that route.
That's just what happens when you do something by hand, and especially with bacon. Some of them just didn't get as big as the rest of them, and they were still nice. They were still as big around. They just wasn't quite as tall. And to me, you couldn't sell this one for $5 and then one that was smaller for $5. So I just marked those down to 3, and still sold the 5s. The ones that were big enough that did right, perfect, they were 5, and then the other ones were 3. So
you sold about what, 3/4 of your
oh yeah,
stuff you made around?
and see, I only had to sell I made 3 batches, so I only had to sell 3 of the $5 ones to break even.
Oh, okay.
See, that break me even for all the ingredients. Just sell 3 of them, So did pretty good.
Now do on the rings and goodies, your pens and stuff.
I sold a few. I think, a couple of the little rings, and then one $30 pen. And Amanda actually sold a piece of her ceramics.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the little dragons. And Andrew wants to know how your car is. His car. How's your car?
Yeah, just sitting there waiting to get assayed by the other insurance company someday to give me pennies on the dollar for it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a peep from the insurance yet. They're probably waiting for the accident report, but my lawyer said that it may take 6 months to get the report from the Arizona Highway Patrol because they're so backed up with accidents from this winter that they're running way behind.
Yeah.
So,
But in reality, the car's totaled.
well, I could fix it.
Well, it could be fixed.
I could straighten it up. I mean, body damage would be kind of a bear, but I can hide a bit of it.
But the insurance company won't pay for it to be fixed.
Nah, it's too old.
They'll
just total it.
They'll
for its
total it
age.
and write him a little check.
I'll be lucky if I get $1,000 for. Ain't gonna replace a used car for $1,000 though. That's where they're gonna pay for the shoulder and the back and the neck. Yeah, I see my regular doctor 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna ask her about finding me a therapist. But my lawyer said the more I get done, the better. The more medical procedures and that.
Now be careful, don't say too much. this is World Wide Web.
Well, yeah,
You
well,
know,
the injury is there. I can't sleep on my left side, and
you don't
I
want
take Tylenol all the time. It's just,
you don't want them showing the video in court saying, "Look,
yeah,
look, he's all right."
yeah. Now I wish I was. It's just aggravated more conditions. My arthritis in my neck and my shoulders. It's made it worse. Yeah, if it wasn't for that guy, I wouldn't be shape I'm in now.
Well, there's Mick. He came. He finally showed up. This is the guy from Australia.
Ah,
Now, Mick, did you ever get your K-Fun X sorted out to keep it from leaking when you refilled it? Did you ever get that sorted? There's like a 20-second delay from when I say something. The screen we're watching up here, that's live. Okay, it's instant. But between what actually comes on YouTube, that's where these other people are watching. They're watching it on YouTube deal. There's like a 20-second delay between when we actually say something to when they hear it. Josh says we didn't have to worry about. There's only 30 people watch my videos, so the odds of your the guy that hits you's lawyer catching it. Well, Mick, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. I would think there was something. I mean, there's something in there causing you to cause if it's doing it when you refill it only, it's got to be. And if it's leaking actually into, well, I don't know, the bottom part of it could leak, and I guess it could run out the air intake holes. But did you ever take that bottom section completely apart and check it? I never had to take mine apart because I never had a problem, but I did watch a video where I think it might have been Todd took it completely to pieces just to do it, and there was a whole bunch of stuff that could look like to me could get loose and go wrong down there in that bottom section under the build deck. And it bothers me that you can. I think even when you pull up on it and shut your juice flow off, you can twist it. You can twist the top separate from the bottom. And I'm not sure. I'd have to take it apart and really play with it and look at it, but it looked like to me you could loosen that up by doing that and cause an issue. But I hadn't had an issue with mine. But I never did take the bottom section apart. I never needed to. But it sounds like to me your trouble could actually be down in there. And see, the top part on mine, where you actually fill it, slide it over to fill it, it's tight as a wedge. I mean, you have to. It's bordering on the side of being too tight, but it's tight as a wedge. The top part of mine is. But you're aware just as much as I am. That's the risky play when you gamble on a clone. Sometimes it pays off and sometimes it don't. Yeah. So you still hadn't got the results back from when me and you went down to
Now
Bullhead.
he'll be telling me, going over that with me on Friday, and along with my imaging.
That's what blows my mind. Uh, a fairly intricate and, of course, expensive plus intricate test, and then they, and if there's anything wrong, then it needs to be addressed, and then they drag it out 2 weeks just to see, or how has it been 2 weeks or more since we went down there?
Yeah, it's been about a week and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, and they drag it out 2 damn weeks, just to give you an answer to a test result. And it's like, well, shit, I could die between now and then.
Well, usually the neurological diseases work at a pace.
Yeah.
They come on you slow and gradual.
Still, though, I'd like to know a little faster than 2 damn weeks.
But I figured he'll gather it all up. The big thing I'm waiting for is the imaging and see how the brain looks. There got to be a reason why this pulsing started. And my hearing actually even been in the last 2 months has been even more affected. It's even degraded more since this began. And I know it's got to be connected with this left ear, this problem. I mean, I don't know if COVID is still working on me, or it's just coincidental at the time of COVID that this problem started. It may not have anything to do with COVID. It may have been just timing. And because I've had no imaging since then, so I don't know. But this ought to reveal something. Had 4 different imagings done, and so I think it covers everything for the brain. So he'll see any and everything of interest.
Now that that was this week, right?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, you went to Vegas
a week ago. Last Tuesday, I went up, got that taken care of. At least hopefully find out what it's not, which would be good. But what it is, I don't know.
They'll just say, well, it's old age.
Well, I talked to my buddy. He doesn't have a problem like this with the pulsing. It's he says, yeah, that's strange. My older brother and my other brother, my dad, my mom, never suffered anything like this when they got older. So I don't know what the heck's going on. At least try to figure it out, and at least I don't drop dead all of a sudden. I'd like to know what's coming.
Neil said he had a MRI done and for headaches and dizziness, and come to find out it was his sinuses causing the problem.
Yeah, I've been lucky. I don't have any sinus troubles or allergies or nothing in our family.
My sinuses bothered me. Yesterday I had a sinus headache all day. I mean, it was from that wind the day before.
Oh yeah, and all the dust.
Yeah, the wind and the dust messed with my sinuses. I had a little sinus headache all day. Just kept eating aspirins and red pills. But it's fine today.
That's kind of weird since I've been living down here. My sinuses seem like they've dried up even better. I have less trouble with them. Well, I never really had trouble, but just seem more dry.
Yeah. Well, there's Angel. He showed up. How you doing, Angel? Thanks for dropping in, buddy. He's a friend of mine on some other shows I go on. He's actually from Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the closest person to us out of all these people. This is Angel. If you're coming in late, this is Stan, my neighbor. He dropped by today, so I decided I'd just throw him on live and give him the acid test. Adrian, the best thing that helped my sinuses was moving out here to the desert. The dry air plus the altitude that I'm at has greatly improved my sinus condition. I used to get debilitating sinus headaches, and I don't get them anymore. They're just a very, the one I had yesterday was just a slight headache. I mean, it didn't slow me down whatsoever. Just popped a few aspirins and kept on rolling. But anywhere else I ever lived, Kentucky was the worst, and Texas was bad. But out here, my sinus problem has gotten quite a bit better. Quite a bit better.
Yeah, the drier climate has probably helped too.
Yeah. Well, I really think it's the altitude has a lot to do with it. Because used to when we'd go down to Laughlin, and we'd spend several days at the casino down there, I would start getting sinus problems, and then just as soon as we came up over the pass, I could tell you, I could have my eyes closed and tell you where we were on that road, because at certain points my ears start popping, and the pressure goes away, and I feel great.
Yeah, because you're kind of acclimatized to this altitude. You go down there, it's hardly 500 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
When you're here, we're here at about almost 2,500. So you've changed 2,000 feet virtually.
Yeah.
And of course, with the river down there, it's more humid.
Yeah, and you change it in like 5 minutes. It's not a gradual change; it's a quick change.
Yeah, and once you got back to your altitude, you acclimatized to.
See, everywhere else in Kentucky and Texas where I lived, I was 700 feet, almost sea level. I never had any altitude.
Yeah.
In the other places.
Of course, there, more rain, more humidity, more growth,
Mm-hmm.
more plants blooming, more allergens being pushed around by the wind. Of course, probably less dust than we have here, because we get some good dust storms sometimes. Well, look at Phoenix; it disappears sometimes with the dust storms they get down there. It's crazy.
Yeah, they get real. In fact, Angel could probably comment on that. Some of those dust clouds y'all have rolled through Phoenix, it looks like something out of the damn Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah, some science fiction, but
Yeah.
actually it really happens.
Yeah, big old wall of wind and dust, and makes you want to turn around and run the other way.
I had that hit me coming back from my sisters from Washington one time on a trip in Idaho. I could see it at a distance, the cloud of dust coming. And everything just all of a sudden just couldn't see hardly a car length in front of you, barely.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all do have a name for them. I don't know that I can pronounce it because I ain't local, but haboobs, I guess, maybe. Yeah, they got a word for it.
Yeah, they've got a name for it.
It's a sight to see, I tell you. I mean, we have minor ones every great once in a while. And they have some up north of town a little bit, north of Kingman in that area of the valley, but very seldom get any out here where I'm at. But
yeah, the winds kicked it up pretty good when we had the winds the other day. I was in Kingman and looked north, and it's just the dust out there. You couldn't even see the distant mountains. It all stirred it up.
Yeah, it's something to see, Josh. It's just like this huge wall of dust and dirt. I mean, it was what was the name of that movie? It was the latest Mad Max movie, where they drove into that dust storm. I mean, from a distance, it looks exactly like the one in that movie did.
Yeah, they even portrayed one in the original Stargate movie where they're at the village. Where big dust storm comes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Fury Road. That's it, Adrian. Yeah. I mean, these things look just, and they do some damage, especially if you ain't got everything tied down. But it makes you want to turn around and go the other way when you see one. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely noticed a whole lot more dust living down here than I had in Vegas. Of course, I was in town and everything's covered, road, street, lawns. Didn't have the dust much out here. We have nothing covered up. It's all free to blow.
I think it has to do with the size of the valley too. the actual the size of the valley. I think the bigger the valley, of course, the hotter it will be, because it gets a lot hotter in Phoenix than it does here.
Oh yeah, well Phoenix is low too. Yeah, you're hardly 1,000 feet elevation in the valley.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
The denser
how
air.
big, how big those things get.
Oh yeah, a lot of dry lake beds out beyond the mountains, and it stirs it up. Vegas once in a while would get something kind of like that.
Yeah.
Usually, if the winds came from the south and the dry lake bed out there at state line, it would pick up a lot and bring it in.
I only ran into one. Well, I've run into two. We was coming back from prospecting up north of town, and it was so bad I had to slow way down, but I don't think I had to stop. But I hit a small one day coming home from work on my motorcycle right out here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was just it kicked up, a thunderstorm collapsed, and the outburst winds kicked it up. And I had to pull over and actually stop on the motorcycle. And I was scared. I mean, I got completely off the road, off the good ways off the asphalt, as far as, to the side as I could get. And I was still worried about somebody plowing me from from the rear, getting lost in the deal. But I had to stop. I couldn't see, and it felt like I was getting shot with, bird shot out of a shotgun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The sand and the
gravel. The sand and the gravel and whatnot. Yeah.
I had that here one day years ago when I came down to work on my property. Got a real good windstorm come through. And it was picking up gravel and stuff and sand, and boy, it was hitting me in the cheeks, and I had to stop what I was doing. I had to sit in my pickup for a little while.
Yeah.
It was stinging.
Yeah.
I can see why those nomads in the deserts out there in the countries with their camels are so covered up when they get the sandstorms. If you didn't have that protection, oh man, it would just probably beat your face raw red with the sand.
Well, Angel, I figured, what was those? There's some other, what the hell's now? I can't recall the name of those other little towns down there, but I thought I didn't think Lake Havasu had the record for highest temp. I thought it was some of those other little towns down there did.
Now, Death Valley holds that.
That's in California, though, ain't it?
133 degrees.
He was talking about Arizona.
Oh, in Arizona,
Yeah.
highest temp.
But what is the name of those other towns down there? The little bitty ones. I forget the name of them.
Oh, you mean like Yuma or Blythe?
Blythe.
California.
Yeah, that's California too, isn't it? Yeah.
Needles, of course, that's California. But boy, I tell you, I got a feeling their temperature sensor down there is off.
No,
That thing is always so high. And then they say, well, but I don't know. It's weird.
Well,
Sea level is equal to almost Bullhead. And Bullhead's in a valley.
well, it's right on the river. Needles basically is on the river.
Yeah, and so and Bullhead, but
Yeah.
yet Needles could be 5, 6, 7 degrees hotter than Bullhead.
Well, it is a little further south.
That's really weird. But altitude's about the same. I just got a feeling it's kind of weird. I got a feeling their damn temperature sensor isn't very accurate down there, reading high.
Yeah, I used to have to deliver to across the lake at Havasu Landing, where the casino's at, the little Indian reservation that's across the lake from Lake Havasu City. And it never struck me as being that hot down there. Of course, I was out in the desert all day, so maybe I was used to it, but never gave me I never figured it would have the record.
Yeah, you got those people that like to go to Death Valley in the middle of summer to experience the oven. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have no desire for that.
And then you've had people go off-roading in that desert in the summer and get in trouble.
I tell you, there was one day, I don't remember, it was middle of summer here. And, when I worked, especially up at the dealerships. I'd ride my motorcycle all the time, you know, and coming home, you know, the most 90% of the time I'd be on the interstate coming home. Well, you go around that corner and you go down that pass, you know, a little bit of a good sized hill and then that, you know, that hard corner. Well, you'd get about probably a 10-degree temperature increase, just going down, getting that much lower, you know, and you could feel it instantly on the motorcycle. And then just about the time there was another little pocket, just about the time you got even with Crazy Fred's,
right,
you'd hit another damn pocket. And I swear I have looked down at my legs because I swore my britches were fitting to catch on fire. That's how that hot it was, you know. Because when the wind's, you know, 120 degrees, it don't do you no good.
Well, you're in a convection oven there.
It don't do
oven made convection oven.
It don't do you a bit of good. It's worse. Yeah, it's worse than if you didn't have any wind.
Yeah, they say, oh, well, you get used to that heat. No, you just expect it. You never get used to it. You dread it every summer it comes. You know it's coming. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
But getting used to it, sheesh. I've been dealing with the desert since 1970 and left California, and I'm still waiting to get used to it. I just know it's coming.
Mick, I had never tried no type of plum flavoring. I'm not really a fan of domestic plums. We had some little, in Texas, we had what we called wild plums. They only got about the size of a cherry, but they were real tart and sweet, and but they weren't grown to sell. They were kind of like just a wild version, and those I liked. Never was a big fan of what you call a domestic plum, but I never was a big fan of peaches either. But I really do like the peach mix I come up with, so I might like the plum flavoring. I may have to give it a try. Order a little sample next time I order flavorings. I found the perfect flavor to go with coffee. It's like a caramel. Well, when I vape it, of course, everybody tastes something different. When I vape it, I taste caramel popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I taste. And it goes with coffee, and it's supposed to theoretically have a little bit of tobacco flavoring in it, but I can't really taste the tobacco flavor. But it
maybe they'll come out with cinnamon roll flavor. That'll go.
Well, I know they do, and I've tried to even make my own. I never could get it quite right. Yeah. Oh, you think they're talking about a plum tobacco flavor? Well, that would be different. Plum tobacco. Does it have any plum flavoring in it, or is that just the species of tobacco that they're talking about? Mick, if you want to make sure you get the person's attention, you got to put a at, like you would when you first type in your reply, type in at like Chasing Clouds and Flavor Reviews, and then that will highlight it on his screen so that he knows that you're talking specifically to him. But you put an at sign in front and then type in their handle, and it'll highlight it on their deal. I'll give you an example. If I can, I get the before I screw everything up. It's a wonder I didn't screw everything up.
They see you as well, right?
Yeah.
At the other end.
Yeah, what they're seeing what's in this picture here.
Oh, okay. And then they reply just with the.
Yeah, they're doing.
They have to type in.
Yeah, they're doing the chat thing. I've asked them, and I'll ask again. Anybody on here that's in chat wants to, see what I was telling you about? See how you did mine? You put a little @ in front of the name, and then when it pops up on their chat screen, it's highlighted like that. Yeah, I've asked people, anybody in chat, I'll ask again. If y'all want to come on live, just let me know. We'll figure a way to work it out.
Or you can see the other person talking.
Yeah. Well, and everybody else can see. In other words, it'd just be two people.
Oh, okay.
It'd be
who you're currently chatting with, they can see both of you.
Yeah, you can get as many people. I don't know how many I know they can get 6 or 7. Different people. But you got to really, when you get that many people, you have to kind of know what you're doing, the people that's in there, because the way the software works is it's voice activated. So when one person talks, his mic gets activated, and so you try to be courteous. It's a little hard to do since you're not in person, but you want to be courteous and not talk over somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Especially with the delay that's involved too.
No, the delay don't matter if you're live, because you're hearing what's happening in real life. I mean, you're not watching YouTube, you're watching the other software, which is showing you a live stream. It's showing you what's really happening. And but you still just have to be it's different than talking in real life, you might say, because you don't want to talk over somebody. So you kind of wait a little bit, and whatnot. That don't always work real good, but that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, when I was in Walmart a few days ago, I was trying to catch up with had one guy that was pretty knowledgeable about the computer stuff and the phone and the Wi-Fi, but he wasn't in. There was a gal. She seemed to kind of know a little bit, but she said, you need internet service for it to work, to go from your phone to your printer.
Well, no, you don't.
But then I was talking to.
All you need, you can stand if you see. See this little box right back here? That's my Wi-Fi router.
Right.
Okay. For me to print from my phone to the printer, the internet doesn't have to work. Okay, the router has to work. That's what creates my Wi-Fi bubble. Okay.
Now your network here.
And if it can connect to the internet, then I can go out on the internet with it. Okay. But if it ain't, then it just connects everything inside my house that has Wi-Fi capability. And you don't have to you don't have to have internet to do what you're wanting to do.
Yeah. If you don't need a modem, I wouldn't need a modem because I don't have internet service.
Oh no,
I just need a Wi-Fi router.
Well, hell, you don't even have a hardline phone, do you?
Nah, I have phone service to the property.
Well, that's
if I ever wanted.
I got it out there at the road, but yeah, I didn't even wire the house for a phone, for a landline. And no, you don't need a modem. You need a router, a Wi-Fi router.
Wi-Fi router.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah, because then. Yeah, I was talking with the guy that sells the phones in the store. Now he said that he didn't think you'd need a internet service for it to work.
No,
he just said
not to do what you're wanting to do, not to print
just from the phone to the.
No, now of course your printer has to be Wi-Fi capable.
Yeah, it's wireless. It is
Yeah.
a wireless unit.
It has to be Wi-Fi capable, and your phone has to be Wi-Fi capable. Not 90, I guess all of them are nowadays.
Yeah, well, my phone's a couple months old.
Yeah.
So, as I was thinking, Sunday when you're not online, I was thinking about an experiment just to see what would happen if we unplugged your modem to your Wi-Fi and see if you could still print to your printer from your phone. See if it had any control, anything. And if it works, well, then it's obvious it works. But if it doesn't work, well, then there's some reason it's connected
Yeah, no.
for some purpose.
In fact, I could give you my Wi-Fi thing, put it into your phone, and your phone could print to my printer. You know.
Yeah, because the Wi-Fi signal. Yeah, because here it'll pick it up.
What did I do with it? All right. Well, Zen, how you doing, buddy? I see you snuck in there. Don't. Uh, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If you're asking me that question, Zen, my favorite right now is this K-Fun X. Of course, it's a clone, but that's my favorite. But Mick bought one here a while back, and he had trouble with his. Mine has given me no trouble whatsoever, really. Once I figured out I had to turn it upside down to shut the juice flow off, before I shut the juice flow off, I had to kind of turn it upside down, then pulled them. And I hadn't had any more issues whatsoever with mine. Been vaping on it. I love it mouth to lung. It's the best mouth to lung tank I got at the moment. Of course, I got some other ones that are good. This one just seems to be a little bit better, I think. And it's a clone. It ain't no damn original, because ain't no way in hell I'm paying that much money for any tank. There's a lot of good ones out there these days. I think the Tripod 2 looked interesting. Of course, if you're going to go down the clone road, always remember, and Mick can probably back me up on this, always remember, the more elaborate the original is, the more odds are that the clone may have a problem. Because they just seem to have a problem cloning stuff that is really over-engineered and real elaborate. That's where the cloners seem to have a problem sometimes. So, you just basically roll the dice, but you're saving so much money. Well, the one I got in here right now is 24, but most of my other stuff is like 18 or 20. Depends on what I mix it at the moment. What I got in now is 24. But I only vape it right now. The flavor I got in it and whatnot, I only vape it when I'm drinking coffee. That's when I vape it. Did it pick it up?
Yeah, it shows Netgear 99, Netgear 99-5G.
Hold on.
Showing actually 2.
Yeah, just pick the first one. I don't know that you got to pick. I don't know. The 5G, you might be picking up my phone.
Oh, that's right. That might be.
You might be picking it up, but the Wi-Fi is not turned on my phone, but you still might pick it up. Here's the that's the password.
Oh, that.
Yeah, and it's wrote on the back. I did not wasn't the one that come up with that stupid ass password. I'm not so noisy ass printer. Damn thing's gonna jump off the table here in a minute. Yeah, a lot of noise just to fire up a damn printer. Yeah, Mick, I bet a bunch of people out there, especially in Australia, wish they had a deep freeze full of Nick. I've had a deep freeze full ever since the FDA stuck their nose into my business way back whenever the hell it was, 2016 or so. Because the first thing they said is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. And that's when I covered my ass and ran. Did it log on?
Saying incorrect password, and I'm checking my letters here. Is there a space required or no?
What?
You got a space in there, but do I just keep it all together? I tried it with the spaces and it came back incorrect, and I took the spaces away and it still came back.
Well, it's a Q at first now, you know.
Yeah, a Q.
QUAINTROSE.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe no space at all between that and bud. It's not bad, it's bud, like a flower bud.
Oh,
but that's all. I think that's all one
BU?
word. Yeah, BU.
Oh, I thought it was an A.
No.
That's where I messed
No,
up.
bud like flower bud.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't no problem, Josh. I just, the offer is always open. We'll figure out how to make the shit work, even if we have to go to the StreamYard. As I don't know for sure if you can do it strictly off of OBS. I think we'd have to use. I'd have to research it, but I think we'd have to use Zoom. And then there's something about Zoom, it lets you go for 45 minutes, I think, for free. But there's there might be like something like a watermark or something I've heard people comment about. I don't know. I've never tried actually, doing it. So it'd be a learning experience. Oh, one thing I did sell at the market, I sold one of my books.
So one of your what?
My books.
Your books?
Yeah.
Oh,
I took them up and asked them if I could sell those there, since I was the one that wrote them. And they said, yeah. I didn't print them, but I wrote them, did everything but print them. And yeah, they said I could sell them. So I put them out on the table and sold one. Yeah, all the flavors is a good place to go. I use the other one, what is it? ELR. That's the one I use just when I want to. It's where I got all my recipes. It's on ELR. But either one of them they'll have some good recipes. Just realize ahead of time, the DIY juice, it's just like the mods, the tanks, and everything else, or burros and billet boxes. It can turn into a rabbit hole, just like everything else in this business. Yeah, the recipes are free. At least all the ones that are posted. Now, some of them are private. I mean, I didn't never post any of mine. I mean, mine are like private. They're not just out in the public eye because they're nothing special. They're just plain Jane little 2-3 ingredient recipes. But yeah, it's all free. I mean, you have to watch ads, when you go to the website, or you can. I think you can even. They got a place I think you can donate money if you want to, or you may even get a deal and do an ad-free thing. I'm not sure, but you just have to put up with a few little ads. But yeah, otherwise it's all free. And of course, both of them I don't think I've ever used all the flavors, but it will. I'm almost positive both of them have the calculators and everything. You can just put it in, put your numbers in, poof. Throws your recipe up there. Did you get it?
What's the name of your printer?
Oh, it's a HP Photo Smart.
Oh, it's an HP?
Yeah. Did it find it?
I'm still doing a search.
Oh. But it should be the only one that pops up. It's HP Photo Smart. And I think they call it, I think when it comes up on the phone, it comes up as it's a 5512, but I think it comes up as a 5010 or something like that. But it's a 5000 series. Did it let you log on to my Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one letter. I thought it was an A, but a U.
Well, even though I wrote 3 books, I can't write for shit. Nobody can read my writing but me. Personal shorthand. Now, Josh, wasn't it all the flavors that let you enter in all the flavorings that you had on hand, and then it would allow for that if you ask it to create a recipe? I remember there was one of them, and I actually took the time and added in a whole bunch of the flavorings I have. I think it was all the flavors that did that. ELR might do it too. I don't know. It seemed like all the flavors was a little fancier. Had a little bit. The software was a little fancier, you might say. Now we can test that out for absolutely sure, Stan, when we get off this live here, because all I got to do is go out in the garage and flip a switch, and that kills the internet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because to get this to finally work, I had to click on the Samsung print service.
Oh yeah.
Now, if
Okay.
that went through a service from them on the internet, then
No,
I don't know. But like you said, we'll
that's just
disconnect and see what happens. If
Yeah.
it has no outside source and it still prints.
that's part of your phone. Okay, Josh. We'll see you later, buddy. Thanks for coming by. No, that's part of your phone. It's a Samsung phone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's part of your phone.
yeah. I have a print program, Canon, but since yours is an HP, I figured, well, that might be why it's not working. So I'll try something different here. And try
Well, see,
the
depends
Samsung
on.
print service. That might be a universal
I don't.
application.
Well, I don't know. I don't even think I go through that no more. Most of the time, what I print off is recipes, and I'll be on usually YouTube, or just out the recipe would be on YouTube out on the internet. So I do have to have internet for that to go get the recipe. But I'll just tell it to print, and I've turned my Wi-Fi on because I don't use the Wi-Fi on my phone. And I'll turn it on and then just tell it to print, and it prints it if I got the printer on.
And when I was first troubleshooting this back a month ago, I got on looking at Google search, and then they talked about this print program that was pretty universal. But then it comes out that Google isn't it's not available anymore. They're not doing it anymore.
Oh.
Print, it's gone. They're
Yeah.
not updating it anymore.
Well, I mean, as far as printing, let's say an email that you got, or that receipt or something that's on your phone,
Right.
If it's on your phone, the file, if it's on your phone, then you don't need the internet. But now if you had to go out to the doctor's office and get that, well, then you would need internet. Well, of course you could download it to your phone.
Yeah, from the doctor's office, a lot of records available.
I mean, you can download it to your phone, and then the file is actually on your phone. So then you just need the phone and the printer and a router.
The way I have to do it now is I have to download it through my laptop online. Then I'm USB cable, then I print to the printer. But I got to turn on the computer, go online, download the thing. Well, it's already in my phone. I just want to go from the phone right to the printer, and I save screwing around with the computer.
Right.
Waiting.
Right.
Save some time.
I understand exactly. When I'm in the kitchen and I find a recipe I like, I'll just
right from your phone.
I turn
it to the printer.
Turn the printer on, and then if I find one I like, I just tell it to print the recipe.
Me, I'd have to come in here, sit down in front of my laptop, download the damn thing, and then I could print it to the darn printer.
Well, now this way you still wouldn't have to have. I don't think you'd still have to have any kind of internet other than what you already got on your phone, because even if it was, because you're just using the Wi-Fi to connect your phone and the printer. Okay, your phone is still capable on its own of going out on the internet and getting whatever you want.
Right.
See, and you get it on your phone, and then have the phone send it through the Wi-Fi to the printer.
Yeah, I don't even my computer sits now 99% of the time unused because I do everything on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to make my desktop Wi-Fi capable. I bought a little unit, plugs in, and a little disk in for the program, and it made my laptop, my old desktop, compatible with the Wi-Fi. And I can hook up my phone through hotspot, and I can do stuff with the computer in the shop. Mostly though, that's just to do music and video and photographs and stuff. That's basically what it does anyway. It doesn't really go online. I don't even bother with a program to protect it from viruses anymore, since I don't go online with that computer at all. So I don't buy that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the receipt I printed out for my container that I bought. That was back in October 2020. Yeah, I wanted to get another one of those puppies, but that guy wanted $5,000 now for one.
Yeah,
Twice the price.
they've gone off astronomical on that.
Well, I know where he's been probably buying a lot at pennies on the dollar is down at the border.
Mm-hmm.
You know, feds made them.
Yeah, they made them start.
Oh, those are 40-footers.
Made them start tearing down the fence they'd already spent
Mhm.
taxpayer money to build.
If I had
Yeah,
a trailer long enough to go get one of them, I thought I could have picked one up cheap.
yeah, that was another one of our good government deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was only temporary, and spend the money to do that stupidity.
And the bad part is those things are easily climbed too. I mean, I don't even know why they wasted the money doing
And
it.
there's no concrete under, so they can dig a little tunnel under and have a little
You can
permanent
dig
tunnel.
between it, you can climb over it. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it wasn't a real deterrent.
And they climb over the new fence anyway. It doesn't
No.
matter, or go under it.
Maybe somebody that was 300-pound overweight might not make it over it, but most.
Yeah, and you don't see too many of
Any,
them on that trip. They're that way
yeah,
heavy.
any physical fit person could climb over those without a problem.
Now they might have started out in South America 300 pounds, but by the time they got up to Mexico, they were brought down to about 180 trim weight. Can you imagine all the walking those people have to do in the months of travel?
Hey,
I mean, for what? Bathing and finding food? I mean, my goodness,
yeah,
what they do to survive. I mean,
it's something
that's
else.
crazy. Yeah. Now, the thing is, the fence ain't the answer. The thing is, we got to make it to where they don't get any benefits here, nothing. Make it to where they just going to have to go home because it's no better here. But we don't. We let their kids into school. We give them health benefits, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
We give it all, you know,
Red carpet.
and they benefit, and there's no sense, no reason to leave.
Give them the
Sure, they
red.
get deported or go over the border, but then they're back a week later, sneaking on in. Yeah. Sorry that their countries down south there are chaos with the drug lords and the battles, and you know, I really think that what militaries they have down there, they should just go out and hunt down all the drug gangs and just shoot them dead.
Mm.
No court date, no nothing, just kill them. Well, you know the leader in the Philippines, he's been ridiculed for killing the drug cartel, I mean, drug sellers and all that. And even people that are buying drugs are even first dying from it too. But yeah, he's lowered the boom in his country. Haven't heard much about it lately. I don't know if it's working. I don't know. And of course, all the shootings we have in this country is just now it's just, you got a problem, you're unhappy, get your gun and go kill people.
You know, that was something I was going to bring up on here because most of these people have seen this news deal, but they actually there's a couple of school districts that have got their ass in a bind because they're hunting. They'll go to the point of doing a strip search on the students to look for little vaping things, the vape stuff.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. So they've devoted all this time, money, energy, and even risk of getting sued about over these little vapes. Of course, they're smaller than this.
Yeah, it would look like a pencil almost.
Yeah, they're bitty ones. Yeah, and yet they don't. If they would put that same energy, money, and everything into the safety, the real safety of the students, you know, we wouldn't have half a dozen get killed every damn month or so. You know, that to me that's the insanity. You know, they waste all this money and energy worried about some little damn nicotine vape, and the kids are getting mowed down, you know, in the classroom. And it's like, what the hell? Come on.
They talk about, well, we got to ban assault rifles and ban all these guns. Well, it ain't gonna make any difference. There'll be a black market. If there's a demand, a supply, it'll come, just like drugs. The bad guys will still be able to get their guns. They're gonna pay a lot for them, but they'll still get them. It ain't gonna stop. The genie's out of the bottle. It's over. We need to do the security at the schools. We need armed, the cops there walking around. Got to have the deterrent because that's why they go there. A lot of people, plenty to kill, and unlikely you're going to find no guns.
That's the old adage: shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, that's why they go to the shopping malls, the churches, the schools. There are a lot of people, and very few to no guns there to worry about.
Yeah, you're right on that, Neil. But probably Neil says that the farmers would be up a creek because they wouldn't have nobody working their fields if we totally closed the border. And he's right to a degree, because right now, that's the only people that actually goes and works in the fields. We'd have to cut off the the welfare and support to the normal people, so they'd have to go get a damn job.
I mean, there's a place for those workers, sure.
Working
the farm.
A buddy of mine that does short distance hauling, that company that he works a lot for in Kentucky, they said, I'm trying to remember what country it was, Honduras or one of those Central American companies down there, but almost all their employees now are people from there, because they can't get nobody local to work. They just flat refuse to work. They'll sit home, get a check, and won't work, And he said, hell, they'd have to close their whole company if it wasn't for those people, But that goes back to the other problem. You're if somebody pays me to sit on my ass, well, I'm going to probably sit on my ass, You got to give them some incentive to get the hell up off the couch.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think we're going to bring this thing to an end. We've rambled on now for about an hour and a half. And I want to thank everybody that dropped by and watched and came in chat. Thank everybody that's going to watch the replays. Always feel free to post a comment on the replays if you want. I do see them. I do respond to them. And I don't see why at this point in time we can't have another show next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. So thanks for coming by. Have a good afternoon, a good night, or a good morning. Depends on where you're at. Yeah, Neil, I could see that happening. I really could. I mean, you would almost have to fix the first problem as far as, the normal people not wanting to work. You'd almost have to fix that before you close the borders. Otherwise, all the vegetables might rot out in the fields. All right, Andrew, you have a good night, buddy. And we'll see everybody next week.